One night, Urmila is sleeping in her room with her child, when suddenly a bird hits her window and dies. This incident was unusual in itself. As soon as the bird hits, Urmila wakes up, and when she switches on the light, she starts screaming in fear, because a bird was stuck in the window of that room and drops of blood were falling from its body on the floor. The sight was so horrifying that she did not want to wake up her child, but Urmila gathers courage and throws the bird out of the window. But after this, she is unable to sleep the whole night and remains awake till morning. Actually, she wants to know whether this is someone's mischief or not. In the morning, she goes to the workers working at her place and tells them that, "Last night, a bird hit the window of my room and died immediately. Has any one of you done this? Because a bird cannot hit the window on its own?" The workers say, "No, we did not see any dead bird below the window. We have just come from there." And when everyone goes and looks, the bird is not there. Urmila starts getting worried that what is this? There should be a bird here, or at least some drops of blood should be visible. But there is not even a feather of the bird lying here. Urmila tells all the workers that there are many precious things and statues in the mansion. Clean it carefully. The workers get busy in their work. Urmila is watching TV in the room with her child, when suddenly a worker falls down from the roof of the mansion. Urmila suddenly hears the voices of people. She runs and looks down from the window, and there is a dead body of a worker lying there. Urmila comes down from the room and asks the reason for his fall. People's answers are different. Some are saying that he committed suicide, and some are saying that he fell by mistake. Everyone's claims were different, but Urmila was hearing some unsaid things. Suddenly a voice comes in Urmila's ears. "If you can save your child, then save him." On hearing this sentence, Urmila starts running towards her room because her child is alone in the room watching TV. As soon as Urmila reaches the room, her son is about to jump from the window, but Urmila catches his leg and he hangs from the window. Urmila pulls him up with all her strength, but the child is still adamant to jump. Urmila somehow manages to control her child and comes out of the room and asks the workers, "Tell me what is there in this mansion? Because this child cannot do this, and whatever is happening now, something different is going on." Then an old worker tells Urmila, "Daughter, if you want to know more, read the story of your ancestors. Only then will you know the history of this mansion." The book of the story of this mansion is kept in the house of the Sarpanch of this village, who had died many years ago, but his son still had that book. Urmila reaches the Sarpanch's house and takes the book. After reading the book, she comes to know that there were servants and maids in this mansion who were very much in love with each other, and they were serving the mansion for many years. But once the royal jewels of the queen were stolen, and in suspicion of this, the king punished the maid for theft, and she was buried alive. Her husband also killed himself in grief, and a month after that the king committed suicide by putting his own sword through his neck. After that, small accidents started happening in the mansion, due to which the mansion was closed forever. After many years someone came there which gave the spirits living there a chance to take revenge. Urmila, after knowing the secret of the mansion, wants to leave from there because she is worried about her child. So she leaves for the airport at night in her car. Suddenly on the way, her car meets with an accident and the car turns upside down, but both are unharmed. Urmila takes out her child and starts running on the deserted road. On the way, she sees a car coming, and to stop the car, Urmila stands in the middle of the road and starts shouting for help. Suddenly, the car driver comes and applies the brakes to the car. Urmila goes closer and sees. Her courage increases because it is a police officer. Urmila, in a hurry, tells him her story and starts crying. The police officer asks them to sit in his car and starts going on the road. On the way, an old man is walking on the road, and as soon as he comes in front of their car, he falls on the road. The police officer gets down from the car and looks at that person. The old man had become unconscious. The police officer picks him up in his lap and makes him sit in the back of his car and starts going to the hospital. Suddenly, the hand of that old man reaches the neck of the police officer from behind. The police officer starts struggling and suddenly applies the brakes to the car. Due to low speed of the car, it stops there, and the officer takes out his gun, aims it at the old man and fires. The old man does not die even after being shot in the head. Both the woman and the police officer had understood that it was a ghost. On seeing the ghost, Urmila goes out with her children, and in the meantime, the police officer manages to free himself from the ghost's grip. As soon as the police officer comes out, all three start running on the road, and while running for some time, they see the glittering lights on the side of the road. The police officer tells Urmila, "Madam, this is the airport. Please hurry up." Urmila reaches inside the airport with her children. On reaching the airport, Urmila feels relieved because due to the bravery of the police officer, her child's life was saved. But the ghostly powers still dominate the mansion, and with this the dreadful ghost. Story ends.